Well, hi, and welcome to the Love Notes Salon. I'm here today with Love Notes 2.0 author Lisa Martin Naimi, and she is a contributor to the chapter called Born for Bliss. How fabulous is that? Lisa, welcome.
Thank you.
It's so wonderful to see you. It's been a little bit. You were one of the first writers to commit to this project, and
Oh, I didn't
thank
know.
you for, trusting the vision. It's been such a beautiful, beautiful experience how this book came together and all of the beautiful souls in it. First of all, I'm really kind of curious how it changed you, if it did at all, to share your story in a collection like this.
It did change me. The way that it changed me might not be exactly a direct answer to your question. I remember as I was sitting here at my desk working on the story, I have this question posted like on the wall above my desk.
Hmm.
And that question is, what is my larger story? I've been mapping out like who am I on like a higher plane on a
Yes.
larger
On
scope.
the larger stage of
Yes.
life, as it
Like
were.
who is that? And what part of that is funneling down into me, this person now? So I had this unanswered question. What is my larger story? So I like really wanted to put like, hey, what is the theme of what I'm doing here? Like, why am I even in this body? Like, what's going on? So I had that question posted for about a year. And it was through this writing process that the answer came. Yes.
I love that.
And it was such a beautiful answer. It was so beautiful that I convinced myself between the time that I submitted the story to you and the launch date that I'd given it a completely different title. Like I thought the title was like my larger story. And then I discovered after I'd sent out some emails, I'm like, oh, whoops, it's not that at all. So what I discovered is that my larger story is surrender to love.
Mhm.
And it has really brought me full circle in my upbringing. It was tough. My personal experience was I didn't trust love and I really
Mm.
didn't believe in love. I
Mm.
hated hearts. Like, I didn't want anything with a heart on it. So sharing my story really was that full circle moment. And I'm so happy that I committed to this process. So thank you so much for pursuing me and asking part of
I
the.
have to say, working with you was really remarkable because your transmissions are very sophisticated, and we kind of had to bring them down to earth just a little bit. And working through that, I just learned about the elegance of how you received this information and how it transformed you. It was just so beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I noticed that too, like the way that I expressed the stories that I shared. You really helped me to put it into just more digestible language and
Hmm.
move away from the jargon that I was using, which was really it was a transmission. And
Right, exactly. So we had to then translate that into language that people could access, right?
yeah, it was so helpful. I didn't know how to do that because these experiences happened like over a decade
Yeah.
ago to me. So working with you really benefited me in being able to revise those stories so other people could take them in, which is really the whole point.
That's the power of the book,
Yeah.
is the story. So wonderful. So what did you learn from that experience?
I really felt surprised by the number of edits I went through. I was like, okay, I'm done. And then you're like, okay, let's work on this. I was like, wow.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me already?
That was really surprising. So it gave me a glimpse into the larger writing process. In some ways, it helped me to feel more comfortable with it. In other ways, it does feel a little more overwhelming, but there are people like you. Your job is to help the person with the idea and the story
Mhm.
to share, to transform it into something that other people can take in. So, like, as the author, like, especially a new author, we don't have to worry about that. You've got
No,
skills.
no, you can shave off years from your writing process by
Yeah.
working, yeah, by working with somebody called me a doula. I'm like, kind of, in a way,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I
Yeah.
love
Together
that.
we
That
we
really,
brought this beautiful creation into the world to share.
yeah. So in that, the stories that I did end up sharing were very different from the story I thought I was going to share. And I
Wow.
started with this situation that was pretty recent and still really raw, even though
Mm,
I'd worked on it through counseling. I'd healed it to some extent, but just the writing process and getting down to, well, what story am I going to share?
mm,
I had the opportunity to work through the experience that still had some rawness to it
mm-hmm.
and reframe it. Like, I really had to think of, like, what are the themes here? What is this experience? Was it really showing me? All that I really had before that was some languaging that my therapist gave me to kind of reroute my thinking around
Right.
every those memories came up. Just being able to have this experience and this commitment that I'd made to contributing to the book, it got me through a process that I probably would have abandoned if I were just left to my own devices.
Sure, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so that reframing process just gave me this opportunity to see that situation in a different light. As a result, it took a lot of the sting and especially the shame. It took the shame out of
Mm,
it. It just all deflated. I didn't understand that writing had that power for an author. And
yeah.
so I understand its value so much more than I ever done before. Even though I've been journaling for decades, it was a totally different process because I was submitting something to be shared and taken in by others. So,
Right, something deeply personal, right? So you want to reveal, but you don't want to reveal too much.
yeah, exactly.
Right. So what do you hope that readers will take away from reading Born for Bliss?
The stories that I shared was like a compilation of like three mini
Mm,
stories
hmm.
or an overview of like three larger kind of
Transformative experiences,
yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
thank you. They're mystical in nature. They're deeply mystical. Like, there's no other
Mm.
way to describe what they are. That's what they are.
Yes.
But what I really want to share with people is I am not special. I was not born awake. I did not have spiritually aware parents. I had a very normal upbringing in some ways not. I was not set up throughout childhood to have these experiences later in life. I know that anyone can have experiences like this. And I know that because I've worked as an intuitive and an energy healer for many years. And
Hmm.
so I have guided and initiated people into having access to these greater parts of themselves.
Wow.
And they did it too. I mean, theirs were completely different from mine.
Hmm.
They had experiences that they needed for their growth into a full human being.
Mm.
So that's my takeaway. I want the reader to know that they too can have these experiences if that's what they'd like to do,
Right.
or if spirit deems it so. It's not always
Right. Right.
my
Well,
choice, right?
everybody has a soul journey, right? Would you like to read from your chapter?
Yes, yes, I would. Day 10 dawned, just like the previous nine. At last, exhausted, I stopped wrestling with my consciousness, stopped dancing with the howling fear. Completely drained, I gave up. With nothing left to resist, I surrendered. I surrendered to the void. In the moment of surrender, love found its way into my consciousness. The constant tension between my heart and throat eased. The twisted cramping in my belly relaxed, and I could feel the tension of fear melt away. That was the moment I let love in. A burst of freedom, expansiveness, and bliss consumed my awareness. I returned to wholeness and fully awakened consciousness in this body. Relief followed surrender, peace eased into contentment, freedom flowed into relaxation.
I love that. Letting love in at last. What a beautiful gift. Ah, I've so appreciated your journey in this process and recognize that it required something, in you. And I just love that you were up for the challenge and able to honestly provide a light for other people who may be experiencing things like that and need someone, to be kind of like the way shower. It's okay, and they're going to be okay.
I'm so glad you. That was your experience of me. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciated working with you as well.
Just before we go, I cannot leave without saying the art in your background is just so beautiful and expressive of your beautiful soul. It's
Oh,
always a pleasure to see where you're creating. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. We're here at the end of 2025 and wishing you all the bliss you can handle in 2026.
I love that. You as well, Cynthia. Thank you so much.